Imagine stepping into a time machine that takes you back to the 90s. Citra sodas, Shaktiman on Doordarshan, and the sound of a Walkman clicking open. In the magic of cinema, nostalgia acts like a time machine, transporting us back to our youth. These films around nostalgia don't just entertain us but connect with us on an emotionally deeper level. They make us ponder on our own lives and those special moments. This style of storytelling captures the essence of being young and carefree, reflecting a common desire to return to those days. But in the current wave of nostalgia driven films, what makes a film stand out is its ability to offer more than just a trip down the memory lane. A standout film introduces a fresh perspective for both the new audiences as well as those who are looking to relive the past. Today we are discussing one such film, Varun Grover's semi-autobiographical film All India Rank, which is now streaming on Netflix. Authenticity plays a huge role in films set in the bygone era. When a film depicts a time period with absolute honesty without outselling or overselling nostalgia, the audiences feel connected and they feel an emotional connection with the same. Good storytelling and characters are the key. They help viewers feel connected not just to the period but also to the emotions and experiences that get depicted in the story. So this film incorporates all the cultural elements of the 90s, be it the Walkmans and Citra sodas, gaming parlors, pulpy magazines, Shaktiman, Doordarshan's New Year program, mentions of stars like Azruddin and SRK, and the Nirma ads. Even the film's opening credits show the title All India Rank in English, Hindi, and Urdu, reminiscent of films from that era. And the song which is used for this is called Noodle Sadil, reminding the viewer how big of a deal eating noodles used to be at that time. This film tells the story of a student named Vivek Singh, played by Bodhisattva Sharma, and how he and his parents undergo a coming of the age journey which moves him to Kota for IIT coaching from his hometown in Lucknow. By the way, I'm also from Lucknow. This film depicts a period that can best be described as a coming of the age for India as a nation as well. Set in the years 1997 to 98, a few years after liberalization, when many middle class families found that the best avenues in life could be secured if one child becomes an engineer from IIT, treating them more as products than human beings.
अमेरिका के एमआईटी की तर्ज पे पहला इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी बना 1956 में। खड़गपुर के पास हेजली डिटेंशन कैंप, अंग्रेजों का बनाया हुआ एक जेल, आईआईटी का पहला कैंपस बना।
The focus on being an IIT product is so intense that the entire family's savings are spent in the pursuit of this dream, often without even asking whether the person should be doing this, whether the person wants to doing this, and it all becomes a burden. Also, you are expecting a 17 or an 18-year-old kid to know exactly what they want in life is actually something impractical. These are some of the toughest questions to answer at that stage of life.
मतलब कोई एम तो होगा ना भाई, कुछ तो सोचे होगे। नहीं, हमारा कोई सपना भी नहीं है, हमारे पापा का है।
बाप लोग साले अपने सपने सिरिंजी में भर के बच्चों की आंखों काहे डालते रहते हैं।
He just wants a simple life, as in the protagonist wants a simple life, but he's too young to know any better and too old to not know his own limits. Amidst all of this, Vivek begins to peel back the layers of his suppressed youth, encountering friendships and challenges, and his parents start to face their own roles in perpetuating this false idea of attaching self-worth and success to an exam. Sounds familiar, right? Even the supporting characters feel more lived in than caricatures. It's particularly impressive how the characters of the young people are developed. Sarika, which is played by Samta Sudiksha, who is smarter than most boys in her class and is casually unaware that Vivek exists in her class and does not have an IIT dream, and the only thing in her life is that the main aim that she has is to always be in love with physics in whatever shape or form. You can tell that she's effortlessly going to reach her goals. Meanwhile, there is Rinku, who is the type of guy who will buy a guitar by using the money that is actually meant for studying material, and Chandan, who is a familiar figure that acts like he doesn't want to study, but yet secretly he dedicates the entire time and mostly a lot of time by staying away from his friends into studies.
बाबूजी से किताब के लिए पैसा मंगवाए थे, उसी पैसा से लिए हैं।
These are the characters that we recognize because they embody the experiences that we have shared. Vivek also unfolds with the slow, reflective pace of the era that this film portrays, and initially, out of his element, Vivek gradually forms the bonds with his peers. Their shared moments, which is cycling through the streets or discussing future dreams, paint a picture of their youthful camaraderie. Even when Vivek goes to Sarika's room for the first time, you see a gleeful amusement and awkwardness in Vivek's mannerisms. It feels like it is the first time that he has ever stepped into the private space of the opposite sex. At the heart of Vivek's melancholy is a simple truth. He does not want to leave the comfort of his house. His youth shields him from fully understanding the broader consequences of this move, and a reality that his mother also knows very well. In many shows and films, a character like Vivek might be cast as an emerging actor or someone who has to pursue something different. However, in this story, Vivek's struggle is more internal and subtle. IIT isn't portrayed as an antagonist, nor are his father and the coaching institutes. Rather, Vivek doesn't seem to be the protagonist of his own story, because until now he was the topper, and now when his world has expanded, he realizes that even toppers are in abundance. He still harbors the interest to become an engineer, but the path is not chosen by him, but it is actually chosen by someone else for him. His journey is less about rebellion and more about finding his own way to live authentically. This coming of the age tale is not about breaking away, but it is about the quiet self realization of one's own agency in life. In a way, it's coming of the age for the film's cast and crew as well, since it's the debut feature of director Varun Grover, cinematographer Archana Gangrekar, production designer Prachi Deshpande, music composers Mayuk and Mainank. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, and lead actors Bodhisattva Sharma and Samta Sudiksha. The film maintains a fine balance, depicting a teenager who deeply misses home yet discovers parts of himself through the challenges by living in Kota. It is both a warning and a thoughtful meditation, criticizing the competitive race yet recognizing its merits. The story explores the struggle of the middle class, bringing forth insights characteristic of the middle class Indian family. It portrays the pressures from parents alongside the growing independence of a young person. Weekly communications with his family unfold at a local PCO managed by Vivek's mother, which is played by Geeta Agarwal, whom we also saw do a brilliant job in 12th Fail. These calls often see his father reinforcing his academic obligations, coldly reminding him of his duties. In an emotional exchange with her husband, whose dream of making their son clear IIT motivated this move, she laments that their home will soon become emptier.
अब वो कभी हमारे साथ नहीं रहेगा। कोचिंग के बाद कॉलेज, कॉलेज के बाद नौकरी, नौकरी के बाद शादी, उसका अपना परिवार। हमेशा के लिए भेज दिया तुमने मेरे बेटे को।
As Vivek progresses from college to career, he will return to a space that, while being familiar, no longer feels like the home that he has left. This is the paradox of growing up, returning to familiar spaces when we find that they are not as we left them, and neither are we. As the film draws to a close, even Vivek's father comes to a significant realization. In the opening scene of the film, while he is going to drop Vivek to Kota for coaching, he says to a fellow passenger on the train that IIT का लड़का बरमूडा चप्पल में भी सभ्य दिखता है, because that's a belief he and countless other Indian parents hold, that the higher the institution, the better the human being.
आईआईटी का लड़का बरमूडा चप्पल में भी सभ्य दिखता है.
But as the film progresses and the character named Mohit harasses him and his wife on multiple occasions, he goes to complain to Mohit's father, whom Mohit is really scared of because of being a stern parent and also because that he is ashamed of what he has done. When RK Singh sees that Mohit's father has been an IITian and even Mohit is studying at IIT, at that moment he realizes that any institute can't make a person a certain way, and it is all the perceptions that we have built regarding certain things in the society that we put them as a holy grail. He understands that while IIT, being a prestigious institution, is not the sole path to defining one's life, a person is shaped by a myriad of experiences, not just from the halls that they study in. Just before the exam, RK acknowledges that he may have demanded too much from his son. Awkwardly yet earnestly, in a classic no-hug scene of the father-son duo, he offers Vivek reassurance, telling him that life is vast and filled with wonders, extending far beyond the confines of any institution.
ये जो आईआईटी है ना, कोई चमत्कार नहीं. जीवन बहुत बड़ा है, बहुत रंग है इसके.
This gesture offers Vivek a broader perspective on life, emphasizing that his value and potential extend well beyond his academic achievements. Hence, in the end, we see Vivek writing the exam, finally free from the burden and taking the exam just like an exam without the mental toll of worrying about whether he will pass it and achieve that prestigious All India rank. It is true that All India rank does not unveil the grand truths or provide clear cut answers, and there are moments towards the end that feel slightly discordant. However, it is equally true that this film transcends beyond the ordinary narrative, reminding us that the paths in life are unique for everyone and that there is no one size fits all as the formula for success.